So, as I was telling, today we will be discussing uh, properties of ratio and proportion, and all these properties are very important to solve problems, not only the problem related to ratio and proportion, but related to other mathematical operations what we will be encountered later. Okay, the first property, the name of the first property is known as the invertendo property. Invertendo. So before I start discussing on this, please let me know that you are able to hear my voice very clearly and able to view the screen properly.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So invertendo property says what you know. If A is to B is ABCD are proportional, then this implies what? This implies B is to A, okay, is proportional to D is to C. Okay. So how to prove it? We can prove it also. Okay. So first the property is that if A, B, C, D are proportional, A is to B proportional to C is to D, then we can say B is to A proportional to D is to C. So how to prove it? A by B is equal to C by D. Correct, no? A
Yes,
is to
sir.
B, A is to B proportional to C is to D means what? A by B is equal to C by D. Let me write it properly. So to prove it, this implies A by B is equal to C by D. So that means if A by B is equal to C by D, that implies B by A is equal to D by C. Correct or not? So
Yes, sir.
what we can say is that, correct, no? Okay, so this is what is called the, uh, you know, uh, the first property. So here, as you see that, you know, if A is to B is equal to the ratio C is to D, the ratio A is to B is equal to the ratio C is to D, then we can say that the ratio B is to A is equal to the ratio D is to C. Okay. So the first property what we discussed is that invertendo property, as you understood. Now, the next property what we are going to discuss is called the alternendo property. Okay, what it says that if the ratio A is to B is equal to ratio C is to D, then the ratio A is to C is equal to the ratio B is to D. alternendo property. So what it says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, then what we can say that A ratio of A and C is equal to the ratio B and D, correct? And we can prove this as well. How to prove it is that when it is given that A is to B ratio is equal to C is to D, so from here what we can say? From here we can say that A by B is equal to C by D. Okay. Now what we are going to do, dear student, is that I am going to multiply both sides by B by C. So that implies A by B into B by C is equal to C by D into B by C, because B by C is not equal to 0. So we can multiply with both sides, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
From here, what we can say is that A by C is equal to B by D, correct, no? And A by C is equal to B by D means is that A is to C, that is equal to the ratio B is to D. So these are the properties you need to remember. So that is the second property, that is called the alternendo property. The third property what we are going to discuss is called componendo property. Componendo property. So what is componendo property? That we are going to discuss now. At any point, if you have any question or difficulty in understanding any particular step, never hesitate to let me know. So
Okay,
next
sir.
property is called the componendo property. What this componendo property says, if A is to B, that proportion is equal to C is to D, then we can say this implies A plus B is to B is equal to C plus D is to D. Okay, we can prove this. How to prove this one? That A is to B is equal to the proportion C is to D. This implies what? This implies A by B is equal to C by D. Now, after that, what we are going to do? We are going to add 1 to both the sides. So this implies what? This implies A by B plus 1 is equal to C by D plus 1. So from here, what we can see? A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
And from here, we can conclude that A plus B is to B is equal to C plus D is to D. This is called the componendo property. The next property, what we are going to discuss, is called the dividendo property. Dividendo property. So, let me explain you what is dividendo property. Now, as I am writing, you can also write in along with me. so that you can also make absolutely, clear. Okay.
Yes.
Dividendo property. This property says if A is to B is equal to C is to D, this implies A minus B, A is to A minus B. I'm sorry, dividend property we are discussing. Na? A minus B is to B, A minus B is to B is equal to C minus D is to D. Let me prove it. So to prove it, what as it is given that A is to B is equal to C is to D, this implies A by B is equal to C by D. This implies A by B minus 1 is equal to C by D minus 1. This implies A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D. This implies A minus B is to B is equal to C minus D is to D. Hence the proof of the dividendo property. The next property, what we are going to discuss is called the convertendo property. Okay, so let me show you this property. So what is this convertendo property? Says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, this implies A is to A minus B is equal to C is to C minus D. So let us prove it. Okay. So how to prove it? As it is given that A is to B is equal to C is to D. So from here what we can say, A by B is equal to C by D. Right? So
Yes.
this we give as equation number 1. Now as A by B is equal to C by D, so what we can write? From here also we can write that A by B minus 1 is equal to C by D minus 1. Now A by B minus 1 is equal to C by D minus 1, implying that A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D. Okay, so now let's give this as equation 2. Now what we are going to do is that dividing that above equation 1 by the above equation 2. the corresponding sides of the above equation 2. So what we are going to do is that, both sides of the above equation 1, we are getting divided by the both sides of the above equation 2. That will imply what? That will imply a by b divided by a minus b by b is equal to c by d divided by c minus d by d. Correct, not dear students? Then in the left hand side, that b will get cancelled and right hand side d will get cancelled. So this implies what? This implies a by a minus b is equal to c by c minus d. Since b is not equal to 0 and d is not equal to 0, then only we are able to divide. No? So from here,
Yes,
what we can
sir.
conclude? We can conclude that a is to a minus b is equal to c is to c minus d. So this property is known as the convertendo property. Correct? No?
Yes,
The
sir.
next property what we are going to discuss, that is known as componendo-dividendo property. Okay, so let me show you what is meant by this property. Componendo-dividendo property. This property says that if a is to b is equal to c is to d, then this implies that a plus b is to a minus b is equal to c plus d is to c minus d. Okay, we can prove this. So let me prove it. That as it is given that a is to b is proportional is equal to c is to d, what we can say is that from here we can say that a plus b by b is equal to c plus d by d, that we get from one of the earlier property. If you see from the componendo property we get right now.
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
from here we can, and this implies what? This implies a by b is equal to c by d. Na? So from here we are doing two things. That implies a by b plus 1 is equal to c by d plus 1. Correct? No? So this we can get.
Yes,
Also from here we can get that a by b minus 1 is equal to c by d minus 1. Now a by b plus 1 is equal to c by d plus 1 tells what? It tells that a plus b by b is equal to c plus d by d. Similarly, a by b minus 1 is equal to c by d minus 1 tells that a minus b by b is equal to c minus d by d. Correct?
yes,
So
sir.
a plus b by b is equal to c plus d by d. That we give an equation 1. and a minus b by b is equal to c minus d by d, that we give equation 2. Then what we are going to do, dear students, that that corresponding sides of the both sides of the equation 1 is actually divided by the corresponding sides of the equation 2, both sides. So what we are going to do, that means in simple term we are going to do this thing. Left hand side of the equation 1 will be divided by the left hand side of the equation 2. That should be left hand side of the equation, right hand side of the equation 1 is divided by the right hand side of the equation 2. That means what? A plus b by b divided by a minus b by b is equal to c plus d by d by c minus d by d. So from here what we can conclude? From here we conclude is that a plus b divided by a minus b is equal to c plus d divided by c minus d. Since b is not equal to 0 and d is not equal to 0, then only we are able to divide it. This property, componendo-dividendo property, is extremely important. We will see later that how using this property in an effective manner at the right time can give us to achieve our desired result. So this is called the componendo-dividendo property. The last property in this series is known as the equivalent ratio property. What is equivalent ratio property? That we are going to see now. And that is the last property in this series. So this equivalent ratio property says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, then this implies that A plus minus C, that is A plus minus C, is to B plus minus D is equal to A by B, and A plus minus C is to B plus minus D is equal to C is to D. So here I made a small mistake that I should write correct, no? So this is an important property. So what is that property says? If A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A plus minus C is to B plus minus D is equal to A is to B, and A plus minus C is to B plus minus D is equal to C is to D. Okay, so how to prove that one? So that is called equivalent ratio property, as I said. So let us prove. According to the question, what has been given? that A is to B is equal to C is to D. So from here, what we can say? From here, we say that A by B is equal to C by D. And let's assume this value is equal to K. A by B is equal to C by D. So let's assume that that is equal to K. So from here, what we can say? From here, we can say that A is equal to BK and C is equal to DK. Correct? Now, what we are going to do? As we got that A is equal to BK and C is equal to DK, now let us find A plus minus C is to B plus minus D. What is that value we are going to get? So, we are going to get that A, let me write it here, A plus minus C divided by B plus minus D, that is equal to A is what? A we found out as BK. So BK plus minus DK divided by B plus minus D. So what we can do here? That is equal to, we can take K common, B plus minus D divided by B plus minus D. So that is equal to what? That is equal to K. Since B plus minus D is not equal to 0. And what is K? K is nothing but A by B and C by D both. Correct? So what we are going to get from here? So from here we get A plus minus C divided by B plus minus D, that is equal to K, and K is equal to A by B, and that is also equal to C by D. So from here we can conclude that A plus minus C is to B plus minus D is equal to A is to B, and A plus minus C, let me write properly, and A plus minus C is to B plus minus D is equal to C is to D. This is the proof. Now we will see that how all these properties are going to help us to achieve great results. So before starting that one, okay, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to recap all these properties once. After that, we start solving some problems. So the first property what we learned today is called the invertendo property. So let me use a different color to say what is invertendo property. Invertendo property says that if A is to B equal to C is to D, then we can say B is to A equal to D is to C. That is what is called the invertendo property. Next property what we learned is that which is called the alternendo property. What is that alternendo property we learned? It says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, that means A is to C is equal to B is to D. That is called the alternendo property. The next property what we learned today is that called the componendo property. Componendo property says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A plus B is to B is equal to C plus D is to D. That is called the componendo property. The next property what we learned is called the dividend property. What the dividend property says? It says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A minus B is to B is equal to C minus D is to D. So this is known as the dividend property. Next property what we learned today is called the convertendo property. What convertendo property says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A is to A minus B is equal to C is to C minus D. This is known as the convertendo property. The next property what we learned is that componendo-dividendo property. Actually, this is the property is actually being used maximum, and it says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A plus B is to A minus B is equal to C plus D is to C minus D. That is called the componendo-dividendo property. And the last property what we learned today is known as the equivalent ratio property. And it says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, then A plus minus C is to B plus minus D is equal to A is to B, and A plus minus C is to B plus minus D is equal to C is to D. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to solve some problem together using this property, and you will see that how we can use this property in a complementary manner. All these properties, what are the properties is we learned today? Okay, we learned total 7 properties. Okay, all these 7 properties we can use in complementary manner to achieve results. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The first problem, what I'm going to give is that if A is to B, you can also write along with me, and let me first write the question first here. So here the question is that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, okay, then prove that. Then prove that A to the power 4 plus C to the power 4, A to the power 4 plus C to the power 4 is to B to the power 4 plus D to the power 4 is equal to A square into C square is to B square into D square. Correct, no? So this we are going to prove now. So
Yes.
just learn that how this proof is actually being done. If this kind of questions are there, then how you are going to prove it, please learn it from, and these are the concepts you need to apply. The first thing is that what is given to us. So we are going to solve it. So as it is given that A is to B, A is to B is equal to C is to D. So from here what you can say? From
A
here,
by B is
yes,
equal to C by D.
correct. A by B is equal to C by D. And then what we are going to assume, let's assume this is equal to K. Okay? K is a real constant. Then what we are going to do, we are going to write that A is equal to BK. This implies A is equal to BK and C is equal to DK. Correct, na? A is equal to BK and C is equal to DK. So these
Yes,
two
sir.
values, that A is equal to BK and C is equal to DK, this is going to help us a lot to establish the proof, that what we need to prove. Now let us find what is given in the left hand side. Left hand side is given is equal to a to the power 4. Left hand side is nothing but a to the power 4 plus a to the power 4 divided by b to the power 4 plus d to the power 4. So this is equal to, you know, what is A? A is bk. So a to the power 4 is bk to the power 4 plus c to the power 4 means dk to the power 4. Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
Divided by b to the power 4 plus d to the power 4. Correct, no? How we can able to write? Since we just found out few minutes back that A is equal to bk and c is equal to dk.
Yes, sir.
So this is equal to what? We can take k to the power 4 common, then b to the power 4 plus d to the power 4 divided by b to the power 4 plus d to the power 4. Now b to the power 4 plus d to the power 4 is not equal to 0. So we can cancel it out. So that we can write k to the power 4, since b to the power 4 plus d to the power 4 is not equal to 0. Now this is the left hand side. Now let's find what is the right hand side. Right hand side says that a square c square by b square d square. No?
Yes, sir.
So in the right hand side, if we see the right hand side, is equal to a square into c square divided by b square into d square. So what is the, sorry, what is the value of a and c we got?
BK and DK.
So that is bk whole square and dk whole square divided by b square into d square. That is equal to k to the power 4 b square into d square divided by b square into d square. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So from here what we get? That is equal to k to the power 4. Since b square into d square is not equal to 0. So what we get? We get both left hand side and right hand side are equal to k
K
to
to
the
the
power 4.
power 4.
So what we can conclude? So from these two, what we get from the right hand side and what we get from the left hand side. So from here we can conclude is that a to the power 4 plus c to the power 4 is to b to the power 4 plus d to the power 4 is equal to a square c square is to b square d square. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Then we can start solving the next problem. Second question, if a by b is equal to c by d, if a by b is equal to c by d, then prove that 3a minus 5b 3a minus 5b divided by 3a plus 5b is equal to 3c minus 5d 3c minus 5d by 3c plus 5d. I'm going to show you, that how this problem can be solved in, two different ways. Okay. So let me solve, the first solution number 1. By looking into both the solutions, you'll appreciate that, why we should use the properties what we have learned today. What is given? A by b is equal to c by d. So let's assume this is equal to k. Correct, no? So this
Yes,
implies what? This implies a is equal to bk and c is equal to dk. Now let us find what is there. Let us evaluate what is there in the left hand side. Left hand side is equal to what? 3a minus 5b
3A minus
divided by 3a plus 5b. So this is equal to what? This is equal to, what we get is that a is equal to bk. So 3 into a is equal to bk and d is equal to, and c is equal to dk. Okay. So 3 into b into k minus 5b divided by 3 into b into k plus 5b. So we can take b common. What we are going to get is that if we take b common, we get 3k minus 5 divided by b into 3k plus 5. So that is equal to 3k minus 5 divided by 3k plus 5, since b is not equal to 0. So this is what we achieved from the left hand side. Now, in the same manner, if we do the right hand side, what we are going to get? That is equal to 3c minus 5d divided by 3c plus 5d. That is equal to 3c. C is equal to what? dk. So 3dk minus 5d divided by 3dk plus 5d. That is equal to, we can take d common. 3k minus 5 divided by d common 3k plus 5. Correct, no? So from here,
Yes,
what we
sir.
get? We get 3k minus 5 divided by 3k plus 5. Since d is not equal to 0. So from this left hand side and right hand side, we are able to prove it. So, so we get LHS is equal to RHS and proof. Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
Now what I'm going to show you, so this is one way of proving. Okay, and another proof I'm going to show you, that is the solution 2, and that solution will be using the properties what we learned today. So what is here? That is, according to the question, we get A by B is equal to C by D. So now what we are going to do is that we are going to multiply both sides by 3 by 5. So this implies what then? This implies 3A by 5B is equal to 3C by 5D. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Now, what we are going to use? We are going to use the one of the property we learned today, that is called componendo-dividendo. So that implies 3A plus 5B divided by 3A minus 5B is equal to 3C minus 5D divided by 3C plus 5D. So, and you can write by using componendo-dividendo. By using componendo dividend property. And using this property, you see how quickly we are able to solve it just by 2 steps.
Uh,
So this shows that why we should, that use the property where we are able to. It is not that for all problem you are able to use the property, but wherever you are able to, definitely use that property to solve it.
sir, is, like, will they give choice to use it, or is it our wish
I'm sorry.
to use this property? Will they tell by using property, or is it our wish?
It is your wish and will.
So
It is
if we can use the property, then if we use it, we'll get marks.
absolutely, absolutely. See, the point is here, that what you see the solution one, that is, very straightforward. As you know that A by B is equal to C by D, and you take it is equal to K, and then find the value of A and B in terms A and C in terms of B and D, and then you take left hand side and right hand side, you get this thing. That is a very, if you use this one, you will definitely get result. In solution 2, there you need to think that exactly what property I can use. But if you look into the solution 1, there is not much to think. All is that as you got A is equal to BK and C is equal to DK, all you need to do is that you need to make this simplification of both left hand side and right hand side, so that you will get the same thing, which you got in this case. Left hand side we got 3k minus 5 by 3k plus 5, and right hand side also you got the same thing, 3k minus 5 by 3k plus 5. Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
So if you see the solution one, there is not much to think that how to proceed, apart from assuming A is equal to BK and C is equal to DK, and that is also from coming from the previous step, that as A by B is equal to C by D, let's assume that is equal to K. Correct.
Yes,
But if
sir.
you use the solution 2 approach, where it takes only 2 steps, you see. But here you need to apply that what property to use. Correct, no? Okay. Okay, let us solve one problem. Okay.
Okay.
The next problem. All these problems are very important, and you should also revise this problem once I'm done. So,
Okay, sir.
question 3. Question number 3 says that if A is to B is equal to C is to D, okay, prove that A plus C is to B plus D is equal to square root of A square plus C square is to square root of B square plus D square. Correct, no, dear students? Okay, so
Yes, sir.
this we need to achieve. And you can use this as a property as well. What it says, if A by B is equal to C by D, then A plus C by B plus D is equal to square root of A square plus C square by B square plus D square. We can prove this also. We will prove it. So, how to prove is that the solution as it is given that A is to B is equal to C is to D, this implies A by B is equal to C by D. And let's assume this is equal to K, where K is a real constant. So from here what we'll get? We'll get A is equal to Bk and C is equal to Dk. From here A is equal to Bk and C is equal to Dk. After that what we'll do? After that we will take both the left hand side and right hand side and find the value. So what is the left hand side? Left hand side is telling that A plus C by B plus D. A plus C divided by B plus D. And that is equal to, what is A? A is equal to Bk plus
BK.
C is Dk divided by B plus D. So what we are going to get? We are going to get, we can take K common, B plus D divided by B plus D. So that is equal to K, since B plus D is not equal to 0. Correct, no? Now
Yes,
let's
sir.
look into the right hand side. Right hand side says what? If you look into the right hand side, it says that square root of A square plus C square by B square plus D square. So it says square root of A square plus C square divided by square root of B square plus D square. That is equal to what? That is equal to square root of A square. A square is equal to what? B into K complete whole square. plus c square is nothing but d into k complete whole square divided by square root of b square plus d square. That is equal to, we can take k common outside. We get in the numerator b square plus d square divided by denominator square root of b square plus d square. So that is equal to k. Since square root of b square plus d square is not equal to 0. So now if you combine these two, so we get left hand side is equal to right hand side, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we get? We get left hand side is equal to right hand side. This implies that a plus c divided by b plus d is equal to square root of a square plus c square divided by square root of b square plus d square. So this is also an important property. You can assume this is also a property. So what this property says that, let me use a different color and write it down. Is that, sorry. So it says that a by b is equal to c by d is implying a plus c divided by b plus d is equal to square root of a square plus c square divided by square root of b square plus d square. Very important property as well. Okay. Now we can solve one more problem, and after that I'll give assignments which you can submit in the before we start our next class. So
Okay,
that,
sir.
how we are going to prove that, we are going to introduce one more ratio here. Okay. So next problem. If the question says here that if a by b is equal to c by d is equal to e by f, a by b is equal to c by d is equal to e by f. Let me write e properly. E divided by f. Prove that a square plus c square minus e square, a square plus c square minus e square divided by b square plus d square minus f square is equal to c into e divided by d into f. Correct, no? So how to solve this one? Let me solve. So as it is given that a by b, let me write properly. As it is given that a by b is equal to c by d is equal to e by f, we can assume this is equal to k. Okay. So from here, what we are going to get, A is equal to BK. This implies A is equal to BK. Correct now? Then B is equal, then C is equal to DK. C is equal to DK and E is equal to FK. Now let us find the left hand side. Left hand side, what we are going to get? Left hand side.
BK whole square.
So what is given? So A
A
square
square
plus
plus
C
B
square
square.
minus E
B
square divided by B
B
square
square
plus
plus D square minus F square.
correct F square. So now let's apply what is the value of A. A is equal to, so in the numerator what you see that A, C and E, that we should express in terms of B, D and F. Why? Because denominator also there is B, D and F. So instead of A, what we write? It is BK complete whole square. Plus instead of C, we can write DK complete whole square. And instead of E, we can write FK complete whole square divided by B square plus D square minus F square. Correct now? So what we're going to get here is that, so this is equal to, we can take K square common from the numerator. What we are going to get? B square plus D square minus F square divided by B square plus D square minus F square, and that is equal to K, since B square plus D square minus F square is not equal to 0. Correct, no? That we get the left hand side. Now let's look into the right hand side. Right hand side is what? C into E divided by D into F. So what is the value of, now we should write C and E both in terms of D and F as in the denominator also D and F. So what is there? C? C is equal to DK
DK
and E is equal to FK
FK.
divided by DF. So what we are going to get is that K square into DF divided by DF. So that is equal to K square. Since DF is not equal to 0, so if we look into both left hand side and right hand side, both are equal to K square. So as left hand side is equal to right hand side, so we can conclude this implies A square plus C square minus E square divided by B square plus D square minus F square is equal to C into E divided by D into F. Hence, we are able to prove what has been given us to prove. So in this manner, you can, I solved 4 questions. So this will help you to, approach other problems to solve. And what I will say is that I'll give you some assignments now, and that you can solve, and you can, send me before we start our class. Okay. So with this
Yes,
note, I would like to conclude the class for today, and we'll have our class day after tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay.
okay.
Thank you.